here, just kind of pretty close to the Elysian Park area, not too far outside of Dodger Stadium, Pat.
And you know, at this time, Desmond, it's so dark. Can you tell if they exited this vehicle or not? I certainly can't from where I am. And what I'm looking at the large monitor here, I just see the lights off, the car parked there, but couldn't really discern if anyone got out of the car.
I have not seen anyone get out of this vehicle. We've got it's awfully dark down there, and of course they have the lights off, but they may just be sitting in the car waiting to see if they have, you know, a step on LAPD, or if they've gotten away. Let's widen out and see if LAPD is pretty close to Douglas and Sunset is where I'm showing here. I can just put up our map tracker to show you the area that we're talking about right here. And there goes the vehicle again. Well,
now
they're starting to take off again. So, yeah, so we'll just have to see what happens with this one. But I know LAPD was getting their helicopter in the air, and they may be able to. They had a pretty good idea of where this vehicle was going.
All right, but from your shot that you showed us just moments ago, we didn't see any law enforcement vehicles even nearby, but of course that could change at any given moment. And so now this vehicle is exiting this alleyway. Desmond obviously feels comfortable enough that they can get back out into some more traffic. But this is still a residential neighborhood. What street are they on now? They picked up a little more speed.
They picked up a little bit more speed. They're now on Laguna Avenue. We will bring up the info here. I hear LAPD talking about this, so they may be able to pick this back up as they're now on Laguna Avenue. And our map tracker is showing this is technically Echo Park, but pretty basically on the edge of Echo Park and Elysian Park. There's a lot of one-way streets up here, a lot of kind of confusing streets. There's some hilly areas as well, so really curious that the suspect decided to come up here. It certainly seemed like they had an opportunity to ditch the vehicle there and get out and run if they wanted, but maybe they felt that LAPD was not too far behind.
And look at them. They're obeying the traffic light. They're stopped at a red light, Desmond.
Yeah, and look at that. There's the spotlight from LAPD, so they were able to find the vehicle. There is the police just overshot them there. So they're going to turn back around.
Letting them know. There's another. They're letting them know they're there.
Yeah, so we'll see how they react to this, and if we see any of the crazy driving that we saw just before we came to air. So we're back on Echo Park Boulevard now.
Yeah, looks
and
like
look at that. We are getting kind of dangerous again. It blew through a red light at about 50 miles an hour earlier. Looks like just went through another one, and now going to be getting onto the northbound 101 as we come out of Echo Park.
Okay, and that possibly CHP could pick this up if they're asked to. But if not, as you mentioned, we can see that night sign on the LAPD chopper overhead following this vehicle as it picks up speed now on the northbound 101 highway. Is this the first time that you've seen it get on a freeway, Desmond? It's been really relegated to surface streets?
First time on the freeway here. It started in the Westlake area, very close to MacArthur Park. That's where we first heard them talking about it. And then just flew up Alvarado and was able to evade LAPD for a little bit of time there before pulling that maneuver in the alley, trying to evade the authorities. But I heard LAPD talking about it, and they were able to determine where that car went. They got the helicopter overhead. They are talking about tracking mode again, though. I think they were kind of nervous from what they saw earlier. So we'll see. They still have the spotlight on them, which I think means that they may still be in pursuit. We'll just have to see.
Well, they got off the freeway.
Obviously, they have off the freeway now at Silver Lake Boulevard, and streets can get really weird around here depending on which direction the suspect decides to go, but they made that right. So going north through Silver Lake and now kind of cutting towards the 5 freeway. Now we'll really see how well this suspect knows the area.
Yeah, what's your take on that so far, Desmond, as far as what they've been doing, the moves that they've been making? It seems like at one point they stopped and maybe they weren't so sure, but then, you know, you can imagine, I'm sure they probably don't have a map. I wouldn't think so. But at the same time, are they still in the same area? I guess that's what I'm trying to ask. From the Westlake district to Silver Lake, it's not that far.
No, not too far. Just went that one exit on the 101, but you see the erratic driving here, and obviously just
Very
they're
much.
pretty panicked. I mean, this is an allegedly stolen vehicle. Who knows what else may be going on with the people in the car? If they have you know, anything illegal on them, or if they have a rap sheet or outstanding warrants, anything, you know, it could be game here. But we see the way that they're driving, and it was kind of telling that I don't know that they didn't get out of the car and run when they thought they had all that time. Maybe they just needed some time to catch their breath. But then, I mean, look at this, just driving on the wrong side of the road for no reason around blind turns. This is crazy. Now we're going up one of those streets. We're going to be headed up one of these streets,
Alleyways
Duane
again.
Street,
Well, dark.
up in the Silver Lake, and going up. I think we're going up a pretty steep hill right here, and going to see
There's
where
the
this
night
now.
sun.
There's a spotlight again.
Yep.
And they had turned it off there for a minute, but I think they turned it back on because we're on kind of a dark street. So they may still be in traffic or tracking mode, but blowing through that stop sign there, going up this street, and well, now we're going
Making
into an
another
apartment
turn.
complex here.
Yeah, slowing down.
And this okay, this one actually goes through. I was thinking maybe it was gonna be a dead end, but just trying to cut through that apartment complex here, and coming back out to where he was, actually onto Glendale Boulevard now. So on a major street for sure. But that spotlight, LAPD, they're sticking with this one from the air.
And it's very interesting just the moves that this driver has made. If you've been with us for the last 10 minutes, we've seen this car actually pull into a dark alleyway, turn the lights off, hiding from law enforcement, if you will, because they were not following this vehicle. They pulled back, as Desmond said, went into tracking mode. So this vehicle just sat in the dark for a while, and we thought that maybe they would get out of the car, abandon it. I just knew it was a footbail, Desmond, but that didn't happen. They waited for a while and then got back on the streets, went on the 101 Boulevard, on the 101 freeway first, northbound, and now they are on Glendale Boulevard and Reservoir Street. And, you know, driving at pretty high speeds, and as we've seen here, driving on the wrong side of the road, making dangerous wild turns. And not sure if that night sun is agitating them again. Desmond, do you see any law enforcement vehicles? Is LAPD behind this car? Or did they pull back again?
Not at.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like they pulled back and they're in tracking mode. So, but they want to keep the spotlight on them so that they don't lose the vehicle on any dark streets or anything. Yeah, I did just hear them say tracking mode again. So they're just keeping nearby units apprised. There you see LAPD going through our shot right there. They just want to keep all the ground units apprised of the location if they do get out and run. But you know, supposedly LAPD believes there's two people in the car, and you would have thought that when they were parked in the dark with no cops around them, that at the very least the passenger would have gotten out. If they didn't have anything to do with this, they would have probably just said, this is a good time for me to get out. I'm in the wrong place, wrong time. I don't want anything to do with that. But that's not what we saw. And instead, we didn't see anybody get out of the vehicle. And I did widen out there for a moment, so it's possible that the passenger got out. We'll see if we can get a view if the major street as we head west, so kind of headed towards the Koreatown area, still in tracking mode of this allegedly stolen vehicle.
And that's, we think, the reason that we know that they go into tracking mode to hopefully slow this driver down, you know, make them think that they're not following them anymore, give them maybe a sense of, you know, maybe I got away, so they could slow down in terms of their speed. But at the same time, we always know that law enforcement can pick it back up at a moment's notice. They seem to just back off, and then all of a sudden they appear out of nowhere because they are still, when they say tracking, that's what they mean, right, Desmond? They are tracking. They're keeping in touch with this vehicle and where it is. They're just not prevalent in terms of being seen on right behind these vehicles or making themselves known. But this driver is going pretty fast again on this major boulevard, past the speed limit, that's for sure. I don't know what that is in the front. Does it look like there's something, or maybe that is the dashboard? I almost thought there was something blocking the vision there.
Yeah, I see what you're referencing there.
Strange.
Oh boy, what? Okay, just another crazy turn here as we make it on to First Street. Yeah, let's just. That might be like a parking pass or maybe a transponder or something, and then I saw something glowing on the dash. Might have just been their GPS system or what have you. It's going to be a good opportunity for us to try to get a view of the front seat. It's still kind of hard to tell exactly if there is still a passenger. It is possible that that passenger got out when they had that opportunity back there in the Elysian Park area. They're now saying they're going to re-engage because they were in tracking and it's not helping. It's not doing anything. It's not slowing this person down. They still continue to drive like a maniac, blowing through. They just out through another stop sign.
Yeah.
We're 50 miles an hour on a small residential street that's only a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. It was going 70 on Beverly earlier. So it sounds like they are going to re-engage. We'll see if they want to have spike strips deployed, or it's getting to be a late hour. Maybe there will be an opportunity to do a pit maneuver. We've been on surface streets. Oh no! Oh, that was so close. Oh my God, Pat. You saw that pedestrian right there.
No,
that was ridiculous. But
no question. And that's why they want this vehicle stopped. But what do you think, Desmond? In something like that, would they pull off even further or go back to tracking mode and just keep that night sun on this car? Because that could have been indescribable. That's one of the things you certainly don't want to happen. No one in their right mind, and we certainly would not show it on television, obviously.
Yeah.
That's just too much.
Yeah,
way too much, way too deadly.
Absolutely. It's what we really worry about, Pat, is, innocent people getting injured or killed. And that poor woman was just out for a late night jog and, had the right of way at a stop sign, and this person just blew right through it at 40 miles an hour, would have killed that poor woman. But amazingly, they, did miss her. So now we're getting into downtown LA, and we're going to see.
That could be a problem.
They're talking about it right now, how they almost ran over a pedestrian. So we're getting through some tall buildings here, actually getting through Koreatown right now. But you see LAPD keeping with it. We're doing our best to keep with it as well. Still no one behind it. There's kind of a back and forth. It's almost like they can't decide if they want to track or pursue. I heard him say re-engage. Now I'm hearing him say tracking again. More pedestrian with a dog getting really close there as well. This is really, starting to get infuriating out here, seeing this with the pedestrians. I mean, it's already bad enough if you hit an innocent person when they're protected by a steel cage, but when you just got pedestrians out there and this person getting within inches of their life, you just wish that LAPD could pull this, get this over with as quickly as possible.
Yes, and only to do that, as you mentioned, possibly doing a pit maneuver, possibly throwing down some spike strips if this person is driving in an area where they feel that they're going to revisit again, so they can get in place and put those spike strips down. But gotta think, I mean, even law enforcement has to think twice about somebody like this that's driving a vehicle that has no regard for life, actually, because they did. That's twice they almost hit a pedestrian. So that has to give you pause, and which they can do. Obviously, law enforcement is very aware of this, and they think about what they're getting ready to do before they actually make some kind of deployment. But I can just imagine that in the back of their minds, they want this over as fast as they possibly can get it over, but get it over safely.
Well, Pat, I've got some horrible news. I really hate to hear this, but it sounds like the watch commander just said cancel. We got to let this one go. It's getting too dangerous. We just saw two people nearly get hit by this vehicle, and that guy was going over 40 miles an hour. Would have hit that woman, and that would have just been one of the worst things I've ever seen. So it sounds like this is a stolen vehicle. Obviously, you don't want crime to pay, but this is just apparently just a property crime, and they seem to be content to let this one go. The helicopter turned their spotlight on. They're going back to base. All the units have been called off. The watch commander said this is getting too dangerous for the public, and they're calling it off.
Well, this is how they make their decisions, as we were just talking about, Desmond. They look at things and obviously consider what would be the best outcome and what would be the worst outcome. And we almost saw the worst outcome a couple of times. So they've made the decision, as you said, to call this off. And at some point, they could find out who these people are. At a later time. You know how that goes, where people could call in, and if you know these people that are driving this stolen car, make their report, and police may be able to find out that way. They could keep their eyes on them, actually, even if they've turned back. Maybe ask other jurisdictions if you see this license plate or follow this license plate inconspicuously.
Yes, they definitely share that information, and it's already in their logs. Basically, I believe that's how this came up. Is probably they had a license plate scanner on one of those vehicles, and you know it came back with a discrepancy that this was a stolen vehicle, and that's kind of what initiated this whole thing. So I have to imagine that they share that information with LA County Sheriff's deputies as well, or CHP, and hopefully it'll just be a matter of time before these people are behind bars after, you know, not just stealing a vehicle, but really, truly endangering innocent people in that earlier pursuit.
And this started again in the Westlake District, and now this vehicle is in West Adams, Los Angeles. We've seen them go through Silver Lake area, downtown. And now the way that they're maneuvering, they almost look like they know where they're going, or they have an idea as to where they want to go, Desmond.
I think so, and they've slowed down quite a bit. There's no spotlight. We're kind of keeping our distance as well since this is over. We don't want them to mistake us for law enforcement and then start driving crazy again. So just monitoring this for a second, and unfortunately we were pretty low on fuel as it is. So this kind of had to end one way or another, and as frustrating as it is to see it ending with them get away, that's a lot better than seeing innocent people getting hurt.
That's for sure, and I think that's why we were still had eyes on this, hoping that these guys would get caught. I say guys, we assume they are, but we don't know for sure. But these people that in this vehicle, that they would be apprehended. Now they're getting back on, this is the 10 freeway.
Looks like they're getting on the westbound 10 and maybe going to hit a little traffic or something, but we're just going to kind of watch them drive away, and I'm sure they're, you know, feeling quite proud of themselves after nearly killing a couple of people, but getting off the freeway, going to go wherever they're going to go, and unfortunately we're going to have to leave it at that, Pat.
All right, Desmond, well, sometimes that happens. I'm not going to say that the bad guys get away because, you know, again, we're talking about law enforcement sharing information with other agencies, and you never know. They could possibly catch these people by surprise. At least we're hoping that's what would happen, because seriously, when you drive this dangerously and you put other people's lives in jeopardy, which is what they did, you don't want to see them escape the long arm of the law, so to speak.
Yep. No, very frustrating, but hopefully it'll just be a matter of time for the folks that decided to, you know, really put everything on the line to get away, and including, you know, other people's lives as well. But like I said, hopefully just a matter of time, and hopefully, you know, LAPD will be able to bring them to justice next time around.
Yeah. All right, Desmond. Well, it's interesting just how they're driving in the correct way right now, stopping at stoplights again and reduce speed. But that's what happens. We're going to let Desmond Shaw get back to base. In the meantime, we want to thank you for joining us tonight. We are streaming 24/7 on CBS News Los Angeles, and we are back at 4:30 a.m. with CBS 2 this morning. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is next, and we hope to see you back here tomorrow night. Have a good night.
Is coming up next. We thank you all.
Foods that their dad, their papi, used to consume or eat back home. Bienvenido a la familia.
Bienvenido. Gracias.
My mom built a bridge to me by sending me her hot sauce when I moved here.
Is just completely they don't even have the air unit here anymore. Okay. Assignment desk. It sounds like LAPD is just completely letting this one go. We got nothing further. Copy all, copy all. All right, guys, joining us on the NBC4 streaming apps, all of you joining us online and on the web. You've been joining us for live coverage of LAPD pursuit through Koreatown, the area south of Koreatown. Almost went south of the 10 into the mid-city area. It was cooking up to be a pretty incredible pursuit, and at that point LAPD decided to call it off for safety reasons, and they also pulled off the air unit. So that tells me that they either know who the suspect is, or they've gotten some information to be able to determine where to follow the suspect to, or the charges that they have so far just aren't enough to necessitate the chase at that point. That's something that LAPD has also been doing in recent times. In any event, the driver went under a bridge, and I could not determine what car it was coming back out, and at that point LAPD was already off the pursuit. So this pursuit suspect is off into the wind unless LAPD has any other further information that they're not telling us at this point. In the meantime, we'll see you on the next one. For Gabe Santos and Julio Capitano up here in News Chopper 4 Alpha, thank you for watching.